everybody. I have a heart-wrenching story that, quite frankly, it's honestly hard to talk about, so viewers' discretion is advised. It involves a murder that happened in the San Jacinto Mountains of an innocent girl. This case made me angry, but I do think awareness and knowledge of it is important. I want to start today's video off with a question to kind of get your mind going. If somebody's been convicted of second-degree murder or first-degree murder, should there be a possibility of parole at all, or should it be an automatic life in prison? Let me know down in the comments. Also, thumbs up the video for me. It helps the algorithm to push it out to more people, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Ultimately, I just want as many people to be aware as possible and informed. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today's story involves a monster. He's been in prison for 2 decades for pleading guilty in court to get his charges knocked down from first-degree murder to second-degree murder, and received 15 years to life in prison, which brings me back to my question. 15 years for brutally slaying somebody in cold blood. I don't understand. I don't understand, because this guy was just approved for parole. Yep, he'll be joining us back in society very soon. You're going to want to hear this. I want to know your opinions and thoughts in the comments, so let me know. Alright, on Tuesday, July 18th, 2023, Damien Matthew Guerrero was granted parole over the objection of the San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office, who asked Governor Newsom to intervene. He asked to basically stop the release of this guy. Well, Newsom denied it. He said no, which is ultimately going to lead him back into our society. Now, let's dive into the crimes he's committed and why him being let out of prison is such a big deal. We're gonna rewind all the way back to 2003. Our victim, Kelly Bullwinkle, was 18 years old at the time, just out of her senior year of high school with her entire life ahead of her. Bullwinkle had several friends. She was well loved. Bullwinkle had tons of friends. However, there were 2 that stuck out, and everybody knew that she had 2 all-time best friends. They basically did everything together. Kinsey Nordman was 19 years old and Damien Guerrero 20 years old at the time, and Kelly Bullwinkle were all 3 inseparable. Now, unbeknownst to Kelly, Kinsey and Damien, they formed a bond behind Kelly's back. One of their weird things that they would do together was watch the movie Natural Born Killers over and over again until they formed some type of obsession with it. So much so that Kinsey and Damien wore matching rings with intertwined snakes, just like the main characters in the movie did. Identical rings, which, I mean, isn't so weird, but still. I've never seen that movie, but I'm assuming that some type of killing happens, because that movie sparked an idea between Damien and Kinsey to carry out a brutal murder, and the first person that they thought of for a victim was their friend Kelly. So a few days before the murder, Damien and Kinsey took a walk into the San Jacinto Mountains, pretty deep as a matter of fact, more specifically Live Oak Canyon, which is surrounded by orange groves. So as they're walking through this forest, you can't see them. They're pretty secluded in this forest. They entered the mountain range with hiking shoes and 2 shovels. After hiking until they felt isolated enough, Damien spotted this random couch in the distance, so he took it as a good spot. Then they started digging Kelly Bullwinkle's grave. After the grave was created, there was only one thing left to do. Kinsey had to make plans with Kelly to go on a hike. So that's what she did. It was the next step of their plan, and it only took a couple days. So a few days passed, and they set off on this hike into the San Jacinto Mountains. This was all planned. This is crazy. This was absolutely sinister. So the 2 girls are walking down the trail that Damien and Kinsey walked 2 days prior. At least Kelly thought it was just the 2 of them. Damien was trailing behind them far enough to be unnoticed, and he was carrying a pistol. So they're into this hike talking like nothing is wrong, and they're getting into it pretty deep. The couch is coming up. Conversation's been flowing the entire time like nothing's wrong. What a psychopath. After hiking for a while, finally, Kinsey says, "Is that a couch?" "Oh, it is. Hey, look, a couch." They run over to the couch, they sit down, and Kinsey keeps the conversation flowing, likely to give Damien time to run around. He ends up running behind them, through some bushes probably, and all of a sudden the 2 girls' conversation is interrupted when the 2 girls hear a voice behind them. "Kelly, Confused, Kelly turns around as Damien raises his gun and shoots Kelly straight in the face. Kelly falls to the ground, but Kinsey and Damien notice that she's not completely dead yet. So Damien hands Kinsey the pistol. She raises the pistol, pointed straight at Kelly's head, and the gun clicks, it jams. She gives the pistol to Damien, he unjams it, gives it back to Kinsey. She raises it again, pulls the trigger, and finishes the job in cold blood. They pull Kelly's body over to the pre-dug grave that they dug 2 days ago, just lay her in there. They run over to a nearby bush to grab the shovels that they stashed there the couple days prior, and they start burying Kelly, and it doesn't take them very long. Right before they go to leave, Damien has the idea to push the couch over the grave, and it's officially covered up. Then they take off. They hike all the way back. Well, Damien and Kinsey created a false alibi and tried to steer investigators away. It worked temporarily, so after being questioned the next day, they were free to go. They stuck with the same story, and it worked temporarily until the body was discovered by some paintballers. Some people were out in the middle of the forest paintballing and discovered Kelly's body. It was washed up by the rain. This was about a month later, so it's been sitting there for a while. So it's been exposed to the environment. So investigators knew Kinsey, Damien, and Kelly were all best friends. So when Kelly's body resurfaced, they brought Damien and Kinsey back to be questioned some more. Maybe Kinsey and Damien just weren't prepared like last time, but they ended up cracking. Kinsey cracked first, then Damien. Thank God. Damien Guerrero pled guilty to 1 count of second-degree murder and sentenced to 15 years to life in 2008. Knowing what I know now, having that 15 years on the front of that sentence makes me so angry. Kinsey Nordman was found guilty of first-degree murder in 2005 and sentenced to 45 years to life. She'll be eligible for parole in 2027. Back in 2018, Damien files for parole after spending his 15 years behind bars. It turns out it was almost approved, and here's why it wasn't. The reversal of the parole attempt in 2018 happened because of efforts of the San Bernardino County District Attorney, Mr. Jason Anderson. I salute you, sir. Gavin Newsom had a part in the reversal, as well as the members of the Redlands City Council and hundreds of Redlands residents who signed a petition to keep this man behind bars. Damien has tried to be let out on parole 3 different times, counting that time in 2018. All 3 attempts were completely denied, and again, for good reason. On February 1st, a 4th attempt was made and Guerrero was granted parole. The parole board grants a 120-day review period where the case can be reversed if other information is submitted, or if the governor, aka Newsom, steps in, which he has the power to do, and reverse Damien being let back into our society. Despite Damien's claims of rehabilitation, friends and family of Bullwinkles at Tuesday's hearing called Damien dangerous still, a monster, a psychopath, who still has not taken responsibility for his actions. And quite frankly, I believe them. Even the district attorney added their input again. The inmate has not come to terms with, or at least admitted, the factors of the murder of Kelly Bullwinkle, Deputy District Attorney said. Despite all these pleas by the victim's family members and the district attorney, all this begging, after committing the most horrendous crime I've ever researched, I've ever read about, Damien Guerrero will be rejoining society with you and I very soon. He should be out walking amongst us in the next few months. All that's going to be happening to him is he's probably going to be on probation for about 3 to 5 years. And Kinsey Nordstrom will be eligible to rejoin us in society in 2027. So let me ask you this. Is this another case of the justice system failing us? Or does Damien and Kinsey deserve to be in society just like the rest of us? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm truly curious. Remember to thumbs up the video. It helps the algorithm push this to as many people as possible. Again, I want people to be aware and informed. And if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. The support means the world to me. Rest in peace to the victims. Remember to stay safe out there. Peace.